Hi, I'm David Fleming from Disciples Ignited, where we are focused on Jesus, advancing his kingdom, and preparing his disciples. Now, we're on a study on the minor prophets, and this week we're focusing in on the book of Obadiah. Now, we call it a book, but actually it's just one chapter, and it is really a chapter that's dealing with God's proclamation of his judgment that is coming against the Edomites. Now, the Edomites have a long-standing hatred with the Israelites at this time that the book was written, and it really stemmed from the relationship between Jacob and Esau, which were the twin sons of Isaac and Rebekah, which we've dealt with in the previous two videos. But we see that there's this hatred that has been long-standing, has gone on for generations, that finally culminate on this proclamation of judgment that the Lord pronounces through prophet Obadiah. But because of God's proclamation of judgment, you may ask, what did Edom do that deserves such judgment? Well, it certainly wasn't because the Israelites were all that. It's not that they were perfect by any means. And if we go back to the beginning of this rivalry between the Edomites and the Israelites that really stemmed from their forefathers, Jacob and Esau, you find that Jacob was not perfect by any means, nor was Esau. So they all had problems. So why God's judgment against the Edomites? Well, there's several reasons. One of them is that the Edomites refused to let the Israelites use their roads when the Lord was taking the Israelites out of Egypt. Let me read it to you. Numbers chapter 20, verses 17 through 18. I'll be reading it from the ESV. Please let us pass through your land, which is what the Israelites are saying to the Edomites. Please let us pass through your land. We will not pass through field or vineyard or drink water from a well. We will go along the king's highway. We will not turn aside to the right hand or to the left until we have passed through your territory. But Edom said to him, you shall not pass through, lest I come out with the sword against you. So we see that right when God is delivering the Israelites out of Egypt, setting them free from their bondage and their 400 years of slavery, God is leading them through the land that is really ruled and owned by the Edomites. But the Edomites said, you will not pass through. Well, the Lord made a provision for his people. He delivered them, and he eventually got them to the promised land. But that was kind of one of the things that really the Lord remembered, that eventually was going to be dealt with. But that really just is the beginning, showing the heart, the hatred, the intent of destruction that the Edomites had for the Israelites. Eventually, the Edomites invaded Judah and carried off captives when Judah was attacked by Pekah, which was Israel, and Rezin, which was Syria. 2 Chronicles chapter 28, verse 7 tells us about this. For the Edomites had again invaded and defeated Judah and carried away captives. So not only did the Edomites early on prohibit the Israelites from going through the land, which was going to help them secure their deliverance from Egypt, but they attacked, later on they attacked the Israelites. But it didn't end there. The Edomites, when Nebuchadnezzar came down and he overthrew the kingdom of Judah, the Edomites rejoiced over Nebuchadnezzar's destruction of Jerusalem. Psalm 137 verse 7 tells us, remember, O Lord, against the Edomites the day of Jerusalem. How they said, lay it bare, down to its foundations. So we can see as we read throughout Scripture this hatred that the Edomites have against the Israelites. But now the Lord is calling them to account. Let's study more about it tomorrow.